In 1917, the Ottoman Empire's centuries-long rule ended. The First World War had redrawn the Middle East, and Palestine fell into the hands of a new empire, one that came not from the east, but from across the sea. Britain promised stewardship, not conquest, but hidden in the ink of diplomacy were conflicting vows: independence to Arab allies, a homeland to Jewish settlers, and dominion to Britain itself. These promises, made in secret rooms during war, would soon collide under the desert sun. The Balfour Declaration of 1917 pledged British support for a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. To some, it was hope reborn after centuries of exile. To others, it was betrayal, a foreign power granting land already lived upon. Britain had planted the seed of a divided future, even as the ink was still drying. After the war, the League of Nations formalized the British mandate for Palestine. The empire's language was guidance, but in practice, Britain governed with soldiers and bureaucracy. Railways expanded, schools opened, yet beneath the progress pulsed tension. Jewish immigration increased, Arab landowners protested, and communities grew wary of one another. To Jewish settlers, Palestine was redemption, the return to ancestral soil. To Arabs, it was home already filled with memory, language, and lineage. Both laid claim to history, both saw the land as sacred, and Britain stood in the middle, trying to rule the ungovernable. The 1920s and 30s saw violence rise, protests, reprisals, and British crackdowns. The Arab Revolt of 1936 thundered through the hills, demanding independence and an end to Jewish immigration. Britain answered with force, reshaping villages and exiling leaders. But every bullet fired deepened the divide. When the Second World War erupted, the land's fate tied to global tragedy. The Holocaust drove waves of survivors toward Palestine, people with nothing left but a promise. Yet the Arabs of Palestine, still under British rule, feared being made strangers in their own land. The weight of Europe's crimes now pressed upon a fragile corner of the Middle East. By the late 1940s, Britain's empire was fading. Violence surged between Jewish and Arab militias, and British troops became targets of both. Exhausted and bloodied, London turned to the United Nations, asking the world to decide what Britain could no longer control. The mandate ended in 1948. A new state was declared, and war followed in its first dawn. In the next episode, we witness the birth of modern Israel, and the beginning of a conflict that still shapes our world.